Well, to begin our Sunrise Smart Start in breaking overnight, one man is dead after a single car crash.
This happened in Ontario County last night. The sheriff's office says that scene around 11:30 on Route 488 in Hopewell. A car ran off the road and hit a tree. The driver, 55-year-old Curtis Wright, was dead on scene. This is still under investigation, but at this point, deputies tell us alcohol and speed do appear to be factors. Also breaking overnight, authorities are investigating a house fire in Minden. The calls for this burning home on Chamberlain Road came in just a little before 4:30. Thankfully, no reports of any injuries. Everything is under control now, but Chamberlain between Cheese Factory Road and Simmel Road is still closed as that investigation continues.
And further breaking news overnight, violence on campus at UCLA. These dueling protesters clashing over the war in Gaza. At least one person was hurt as dozens of pro-Palestinian protesters arrived. Pro-Israeli protesters arrived, trying to dismantle parts of the pro-Palestinian encampment. We saw in the video here they were deploying fireworks and what looked like pepper spray. Police sweeping through other campuses as well all over the United States these last 2 weeks, leading to several confrontations and more than 1,000 arrests.
Some of those arrested last night in New York City as police moved in at Columbia University at the school's request. They were trying to clear out the pro-Palestinian protesters after a deadline passed for demonstrators to leave. Police climbed through a window to get protesters out of Hamilton Hall. The school's president asked NYPD to come in and clear them out, calling the building occupation and encampments a clear and present danger. City officials are blaming outside agitators for the rise in tensions.
These people are not Columbia students. They are not affiliated with the university, and they are working to escalate the situation.
Police say students still at the camp could be charged with trespassing or disorderly conduct. Those who broke into Hamilton Hall could face more serious charges such as burglary. In addition to counts on charges, students involved could be face expulsion or suspension, and seniors could be ruled ineligible to graduate.
The case against the former commander of the Geneva American Legion is now headed to a grand jury after he was arraigned. 63-year-old Dale Mosier is charged with grand larceny, accused of stealing more than $90,000 from the veterans group. Deputies tell News 8 that this investigation started nearly a year ago when a new commander took over and reported there were some discrepancies in the Legion's financial records. Investigators say they found evidence showing Mosier stole money from the organization between 2015 and May 2023.
What I can tell you is that during the time that this was occurring, for the majority of that time, he was the commander of the Legion, and so these were transactions that he was making on his own without any board review.
The sheriff said he couldn't get into the details on how this was being done or where the money was going, but he did say that all this will need to play out in a courtroom.
Monroe County's Office of Public Integrity has launched a new investigation following this body cam video showing District Attorney Sandra Dorley arguing and failing to comply with an officer who tried to stop her for speeding last week in Webster. That investigation, in conjunction with the County Board of Ethics, the director says they've gotten many requests to investigate the DA. The state commission to look into misconduct by prosecutors in New York is also reviewing this encounter. Dorley, as we reported, released that apology Monday, explaining she'll pay the fine, already pled guilty, and will take ethics training and have another district attorney investigate her case.
Meanwhile, a state Supreme Court judge is being publicly condemned after this confrontation with police, but he's going to keep his job. The vote to censure Judge Mark Grisanti by the State Commission on Judicial Conduct came down 4 years after this parking dispute outside of his home. In fact, in this video, as we just saw, Grisanti shoving the officer. Criminal charges were never filed, and the commission says that Grisanti showed poor judgment, falling short of the behavior expected from a judge. In a 6-4 vote, though, the commission allowed Grisanti to stay on the bench.
Local utilities are warning customers of a new scam making the rounds. RG&E and NYSEG report scammers are posing as representatives trying to steal personal information from people, homeowners. This could be through a phone call, an email, a text, or even someone actually showing up at your door, threatening to disconnect your service unless you pay with cash or a prepaid card for a meter upgrade, or make payments by sharing your personal details about your bank accounts. If this happens to you, don't give them any of that info or money. They want you to call 911 instead, report it to the utilities or the FTC. Sunrise traffic at 6:52. Still got patchy fog, pretty dense in some spots, especially right out there up high on our Sky Eye camera. On the map, though, main expressways are looking good in terms of any accidents or heavy congestion. We do have first responders on scene in northwest Rochester with a crash at Pittsford Street and Wheatland Street. That's your sunrise traffic here for this Wednesday. Looking ahead in just a couple of days, ladies will be on the runway in style, all to support one of our local nonprofits.
That is also supporting them through their struggles with breast cancer. Ron Spitzer speaking with a board member of Embrace Your Sisters. They're preparing for the 17th annual Tea at 2 fashion show. She shares more. Ron.
This is the third year in a row that the fashion show has sold out. During the event, the models strut their stuff as their story is told. All the models have been impacted by breast cancer in some way, whether they or a family member is a survivor. This is the biggest annual fundraiser for Embrace Your Sisters. The nonprofit helps breast cancer patients with short-term emergency financial support across 13 counties in New York. The organization is completely volunteer-led with no paid board members. Embrace Your Sisters has been around since 2006 and since then has given out over $600,000.
Your donation goes right back into someone that might live next door to you, across the street from you, from one of your family members. So if you can't come to an event and you can't participate in the silent auction, donating is a great way. And, because we are 100% volunteer, it goes right back into all the people that live right in the communities that we all live in.
The fashion show is Sunday. If you want to get involved, there is a silent auction live now, or you can donate online by paying someone's phone bill or car payment. All of that, plus how to become a volunteer, is on rochesterfirst.com. Guys, back to you.
Ron, thank you. Let's take you inside the Buffalo Huddle. One of the most interesting picks from the Bills this year in the draft was their final one. Travis Clayton picked up in the 7th round. He's from England, pretty much never played football before. He was drafted in the league's International Pathway program. He's a former rugby player, 6'7", 300, and can run a 4.8 40-yard dash. He'll likely, for the Bills, be an offensive tackle. GM Brandon Bain talked with us on how Clayton got Buffalo's attention.
We sent R.J. Webb, who's one of our pro scouts, we sent him down to the workout at South Florida. We got video. We got it in front of Chrome. I watched this workout with Chrome one day after he watched it because he was like, man, this guy's athletic, obviously raw. I haven't ever seen him really truly play football, but by all accounts, a great young man, and his measurables are, wowing off the page.
For more post-draft coverage for the Bills and reaction, check that out, what our sports team has for you on our website.
And new this morning, the Rock Holiday Village confirms the dates for their 6th annual event. The festivities usually run from December 6th to the 29th. They're going to be doing that this year with 17 days of fun planned, featuring food, live music, ice skating as usual, Santa making a stop in Rochester as well. They're also accepting vendor applications right now for the outdoor shopping village and mini makers markets. The deadline is June 30th. So you find a full list of the dates, maybe how to apply to be a vendor, all on rochesterfirst.com.
James, we just put away all the parkas.
I don't even want to think about that.
I know, I was looking up in the video.
I'm sorry, it's a great event, but...
Hey, Santa starts planning for Christmas on December 26th, so why not us too?
Yeah, Lilac Festival coming up, okay?
Okay,
yes,
all right, let's focus on that.
For that here. Not much to see on our cameras. Yes, the fog's still a factor. Should be a good day, afternoon. Sun comes out, temperatures for a lot of us do get into the low 70s. Yes, cooler along Lake Ontario. Those folks staying in the 50s and 60s. Extended tomorrow, not bad. We're going to drop temperatures a bit, but Friday, maybe best day of the week here. Mid-70s and then busy for the weekend. You'd like to carry that nice Friday forecast into Saturday, but not going to happen. Looks like rain showers to start off the weekend.
All right, thank you, James. That does it for us here at Sunrise. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes.
Have a great day, everyone.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on rochesterfirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.